is mighty sweet. Liberty sows its seed at Farpoint Farms.
Hey guys, it's Eric here at Farpoint Farms in the mountains of North Carolina. Tonight I wanted to talk about something a little different. I'm feeling a little nostalgic, to be honest with you, because I'm feeling kind of old. Everything hurts and I'm dying is the shirt that I saw recently. It made me think about how I kind of feel that way some mornings. Well, I wanted to talk about this. You may have seen it in a video or two, depends on when I post or what I post first, but this right here is a Crosman 760 Pumpmaster, and if you're of a certain age and come from a certain area, this was probably in your arsenal as a child. Well, I managed to find one just like the one that I had when I was a kid, with one or two minor changes. Apparently they made some alterations on these things over the years, but it works. It's a 760 Pumpmaster from Crosman. Let me get it off the rack here. I'll show it to you. And it's a little small for an adult, but it's an interesting little gun. A lot of kids in the neighborhood that I grew up in had these in one variation or another. Now later on I got a larger Crosman 2100, and I still have the original that I bought. Of course, the original 760, long gone. I think it was seals broken or something like that died in it. But I wanted to take this thing out. I want to show it to you, and I want to do some plinking with it, so I'm going to do a review on this thing. It is a 1 to 10 pump gun. You can take this thing and you can just use one, or you can go all the way up to 10 with it. Back in the day, sometimes we went a little bit beyond that. Now this one is a little more modern than the one that I had. It has a fiber optic, or it like sucks up the light, and so it's kind of a brighter tip there, if you can see that. The one I had just had a regular black stop. It's also missing something, and it may cause it to be a little bit inaccurate. And I can pick that up somewhere, but it has a little ramp that's supposed to be right there, and it's missing, so the back sight doesn't have the height adjustment for it. So that's kind of a problem there. Now this model here is a little different than the one I had as well. This one had a way, now the one I had, you'd pull back on it, you could single load a pellet if you want to, push it back forward, and you're ready to go. It also had the magazine here on this side. You open that up, you add in your BBs, you close it up, and you can pull back on this little lever right here, kind of shake it, and it will load. You can just see it, and I don't know, put it close enough. You can just see a couple BBs in there in that little crack. That crack is supposed to exist. It's kind of your, is it loaded chamber, you know, is it ready your magazine? If it is, every time you cock this thing, it's got a magnet on the end that would grab one of those copper BBs and pull it forward, copper coated BBs, that's why it would still be magnetized, and slam it forward. If this was empty, you could single load pellets. As you can see right here, this one's a little different. You see how it's notched right there? You can actually buy, for this model, it would be a 5-shot pellet clip, a magazine. And so it would just, you'd fire one, you'd push it down a notch, fire it, push it down a notch. So you did have the ability to use this as a 5-shot repeater. Now, every time you fire this thing, you need to pump it back up, and every time you fire this thing, you also need to cock it. Once it's cocked, however, it is cocked. You have to fire it. Of course, it does have a safety mechanism. That's right there. And they came in some variations. In fact, I was looking online once I found this thing at a flea market here locally. I wondered, hey, you know, this one's not quite like mine. I wonder if I could find one like mine. Well, I wasn't able to find the exact model I had, even though it was a 760. But I found ones that had wooden handles, wooden hand guards, and wooden stocks, which is really cool. This one does have a metal case, or metal frame here. Apparently, for a little while anyway, some of them were plastic. The barrel in this one is slightly rusty, but overall I'd say it's in pretty good shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this thing up on a target with a couple of cans and maybe a target. And like I said, I'm going to give a couple shots out just to show you how it works. But with the sight the way it is, don't hate me if I'm not that accurate. Anyway, let's give it a shot, and I hope you're enjoying a little bit of a change in content. All right, well, you can see I've got a can and I've got a target set up down there. It's been a few years, and I've got a camera closer up. It's been a few years since I shot an air rifle, so I've got it here, and got some BBs in that part. So we'll go ahead give it the old 10 pump, pull it back. There we go. Got a BB in the chamber. And, well, let's see what we can do here. Okay, let's take a look at what that looks like on the target. So, you know, considering the back blade sight's not right, I would say the elevation is not too far off. Windage looks a little bit off. Of course, it could just be the way I'm pulling. I am standing freehand, but it's not a bad group for 3 shots out of a child's toy. Let's see if we can hit that can. Kind of wonder if it has enough power to hit that can and knock it off, so let's give it a shot. There we go. Didn't knock it off, but it hit it. Sometimes, if memory serves, less is more when it comes to knocking cans off, because you won't actually blow through it, you'll just hit it and it'll knock it over. So let's try it at 4 pumps. Well, it's a hit. It didn't knock it over. We'll give it one more shot here. We'll do it at 3 pumps. Hey, there we go. Let's take a look at that in slow motion. Awesome. Well, this is the first BB gun video I've ever made, so I don't know exactly where to go with this, but it's the old school, original 760 Pumpmaster. This one's probably late 90s because it does have that fluorescent tip on it. It is awfully small for an adult, but it also gets the job done. Let's head on back and wrap things up. Well, that's it. It's you know, it is what it is. It is a very basic BB gun, and this one also does happen to shoot pellets, but I think you would call this a BB gun. It's fun to shoot with. It certainly is a little small for an adult, but it's also still really fun to shoot, and it doesn't wear you out because the thing weighs like 2 pounds at most. Not a bad little way to have a fun afternoon. If you're looking for something for a young one, if you want to have something like this to have as a first gun, they've remodeled this a little bit. I don't know what the new version of it is, which is kind of weird that they changed this, because this was in style, I think, from the 60s all the way up through the 2010s, and now, you know, they redesigned it. I don't think it's the same gun, although it may be the same here. I don't know. The stock certainly looks different when I looked it up. Barrel too, I believe. Anyway, I guess that'll do it for today, my friends. Hope you're enjoying this little detour from our normal content here on the channel, and we'll see if YouTube completely demonetizes me for doing evil and hateful firearm content. We'll see. Till next time, my friends, take care.